Last time we were together, I told you about the promise that God had given me. Today, I would like to tell you about the fleece, my very first fleece. After the promise, I graduated from Auburn University and took a job in North Carolina. It was there that the promise began to take root in my heart. So much so, I almost couldn't think of anything else. I began to see that maybe that promise was meant for me. I decided to call my father. I was on the phone with him talking about, I don't even remember what, when he began to ask me, "Hey Clay, when do you plan on trying to start Omni?" Omni was what Scott, Jeff, and I had named what we would call the promise. I told my dad that I wanted to turn in my resignation at the end of that year, work a month, and then start it. And all of a sudden, there was deafening silence on the other end of the phone. The next words I heard were from my father saying, "Clay, faith is one thing, but stupidity is another. You don't have anything. You don't have any money. You don't have any backing. You don't have any support. Maybe if you had $50,000 or something to start, but you have nothing. You can't do this." Well, we hung up the phone and I was devastated. The next day I went to work. I couldn't concentrate on work. Finally, I got out pen and paper and I wrote my dad a letter. Most of the letter concerned things that my dad had taught me. Most of those were about faith. So I mailed the letter and went on about my business, started work. Wednesday came. I was the volunteer youth minister at my church, was there for the Wednesday night pizza dinner. And somehow I found my way out into the empty, dark sanctuary. And it was there that I spoke to God probably the most candidly I'd ever in my life. I told him this. I said, "God, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll build Omni, or I'll work to get rich and give the money to ministry. But the one thing I won't do, I will not go against my Father. So if you want me to do this Omni, you're going to have to tell my father." Well, the night ended. I made it back home. I was getting ready for work the next day and my phone rang. Picked up the phone and it was my mother. And she said, "Clay, your dad wants to talk to you." And I said, well, did he get the letter?" She said, "No, but he's been driving me crazy. He wants to talk to you." And the next words I heard were these. He said, "Clay, I just wanted to tell you how sorry I am about what I told you Sunday night." And then he began to recount almost everything that I had written in the letter that he never read. His words were, "I tell you this, Clay, if this is what God has called you to do, your mom and I are behind you 100%. We will do whatever it takes to help you see this to reality." I can't even begin to tell you the ways he answered that promise. Till we meet again, thank you.